What's good, YouTube? And welcome to the house. The Megatins has people going insane, throwing money at the screen, and now we get to mix in banless speculation. No sooner than October 1st, and now we have copium of why people are buying Maxi Supers out to freaking $20 plus, and the quantities are going lower than ever. An ultimate rare fringe copy going for $650, although you guys in the comment section have helped me understand that sometimes, a lot of shippers don't end up sending to Canada, so people will pay more from Canada for cards on TCG Player. That might be the case, but they're sitting here at $580, multiple under 600, and that's still pretty crazy. But Crossout Designator is here. We have a hard counter, John. I hear this being parroted everywhere that Maxi must come back because of this card, and we'd be like the OCG this time, right? Like, how many lists have we had where OCGs had this at 3 and we haven't had it? And this card's not suddenly going to change that. Think with Konami Brain. What about Call by the Grave? What about Ash Blossom? Those are counters to this card. Why did it not all of a sudden pop back up? That's because this card currently, if it does peel off, will be off an independent decision from the office to finally do so, like the OCG, rather than just, oh yeah, Crossout Designator's here. Oh, it's about time to go. But if you are buying this out, also consider what happened with Harpy's Feather Duster and Bardish. Oh, they were in Gold Series. What's on the horizon? Oh, it's Gold Series. Also, Brothers of Legend. If there is actually a peel off for this, I think there would be a relatively quick reprint on this card. Maybe even an OTS pack, but keep that in mind as people try to pump and dump this right before the ban list. Also, speaking of Crossout Designator, what will the price be, John? I'm not a crystal seer that has time-traveling info brokers with cards, but breaking down last year's ratios, which I'll end up doing this weekend for this tins, it was 1.44 on Ultras last year with no short print, so we saw cases without Dragoon because you're rolling the dice, some with 1, which was the most likely, some with 2, and even 3. But with cases, early sales were 150, and now they're going up and up and up in price. I think the cheapest you can get is near, 200 now? I think with Crossout Designator, people are going to be grabbing this at 3 instead of at 1 like Dragoon, and Dragoon also initially flopped, whereas this is going to have duelists scrambling for this card. So I want to say it'll be near $50 over double MSRP of the 10 seems reasonable, but with Megatins releasing in waves, as well as the initial demands for this card, I'm thinking 70 to 75, unfortunately, but we'll wait and see the market regulate itself and dictate the price, because we really don't know. Speaking of banlist fears, Dragoon is around 70, as I pointed out last Market Watch, down from its $100 max, and it keeps going down due to banlist fears right now. Access code Talker was missing from the 10s, as were many other cards, so let's cover some of those. This is at 175. I saw a post in Zodiac where the seller just said, yeah, this would be bad profit for me to sell it, so I'm canceling your order. Don't be a scum seller. Also, don't be a scum buyer where you committed to pre-orders and you're like, canceling my pre-order completely for free. Well, actually, vendors might be super happy for you to cancel your pre-order despite, everything, because of the price in, they'll be like, yeah, I'll take that first wave case back from you, buddy, so go ahead, try. But seriously, with access code Talker at 175, 180, I think that there's got to be a reprint on the horizon, or Konami actually has ban list plans. I don't want to be a bad ban list speculator. I don't think this will get on the ban list before Konami cashes in on it, but we'll have to wait and see. Like I said, Brothers of Legend Gold Series on the horizon, or Ghost Rare first reprint and Ghost from the trash like the BLS link. Please don't do it, Konami. Please just do something nice for the community with that. Droplet is also going up in prices. It's missing the 10s, and a lot of people are speculating one of the sets that still has short prints, Battles of Legend, Brothers of Legend, would be putting this in a short print slot, so people are just going ahead and getting it now rather than dealing with that, as there's not a mass 10 printing. Kokimeru Supplier missed the 10s and is pretty big for Adamancipator. Adamancipator's got a lot of other reprints in the 10s, so very interesting card to not get a reprint out of Rise of the Duelist that people are scrambling for. Lightning Storm did not get a reprint in the 10s. Hopium, maybe it'll be in the Structure decks, maybe Konami, probably not, let's not kid ourselves. So, we do see the Ultra going up and up out of King's Court. I would actually suggest at this point just spending $10, $11 more and getting the Secret Rare version if it suits you and you're in the market for Lightning Storm and you're scrambling for it, using that TCG player link in the description down below, costing you nothing extra to support the channel directly for the cards you'd already be buying. I really do think that just a couple more dollars, though, on the Secret Rare place, that ends up being like like 30 is much better for your long-term value than if another printing happens, then the Ultra would bottom out pretty well more. Ancient Warriors missed getting prints. This is a mix with Tri-Brigade that I've been playing on stream for a while. I know other duels have had results with that, and maybe most notable is Double Dragon Lords, a thing that a lot of decks end on, especially Tri-Brigade. You might want to get that sooner than later as a super rare. It's so weird to me, right? Like, we see this, but people have banless speculation around Tri, whereas the card that's doing relatively nothing right now but mixes with the deck people waited a long time for reprints. It explodes. Welcome to the reprint market. Triple Tactics Talent has a confirmed reprint, and all of a sudden there's a ton more sellers here as it goes down. Should be interesting to watch the Starlight, as it just had a buyout, but we see the Lightning Storm buyout fall out from the collector rare. This doesn't have a collector rare competitor, but now the base of Triple Tactics Talent will go way down. It'll definitely be weird to see this one and how it proceeds. AA Zeus Ultra Rare is now in people's hands, and suddenly it goes back down from, you know, trying to hang around 48.50 to, boy, is it starting to fly a lot more at the lower price. Well, it's secret rare, it'll hold some value. I point over to cards like Apollosa, which did get a double reprint, to be fair, and the secret rare did dip even further before starting to travel back upwards, so I think you'll have a cheaper price point in on the secrets, but we'll wait and see, as this is a powerhouse of an extra deck card, but I still think you'll have cheaper chances to get a first ed secret rare. Nadir Servant also going way down. You want 3 of them things, and with Nadir Servant, I pretty much thought it was inevitable that all the Dogmatica cards would end up when the commons were there, so hopefully you sold yours listening to me, but if you're waiting for this holo upgrade, I think this will continue to go down too as we head towards the 10s history shows it. And finally, out of Eternity Code, I know the eyesore of Access Code Talker is still here. Chamber Dragon Maid also ticking up as it doesn't get a double dip reprint, but still has its in gold series, I think. Not everybody a fan of gold rare, but I still think we'll see the secret rares dip from having another copy accessible. Animador Archosaur barely going down after its 10 confirmation. Ghost Mourner Moonlit Chill was in the 10s and could have its Altar Art in gold series. And Gravedigger Trap Hole. I expect this similar to Trap Trick for the secret to actually hold a decent chunk of value long term, probably dip and then go back up. So I would decide your timing on that. And then Medolce Salon missed its printing. But a lot of people are pointing, including myself, that Battles of Legend and the March reprint sets and even Gold Series have been focusing Medolce's the last year, so its reprint could be on the horizon, but if it misses those, this card could be going pretty crazy. Out of the Megatins speculation, Live Twins didn't end up in, even though the early spoilers had Drytron. It seems they pieced up decks from different side sets, and with Live Twins missing, the collector rares are going a bit crazy once again. It does feel a lot, as my Discord has pointed out, like Sky Striker ulti buyouts back in the day, where it keeps getting these rounds and rounds of buyouts despite being at record highs. So we see a couple more focusing them, and also the ultra rare Kisi Kill Frost is up towards $10, one of the most expensive cards out of Lightning Overdrive now. We also see these collector rares, while they look like they're lower, there's damaged copies there. Actually, she's at 125 for Kisi Kill the Evil Twin, and then you also have Leela up towards 80 plus. So we do see a lot of revolving buyouts as we head towards what really seems to be a rogue deck, not taking over the meta deck moving forward, but also waifu tax. How many times do we have to say that going around with this deck? I want to see what prices happen long term, because this is not Sky Strikers. It really isn't on that level, but we'll wait to see how it does. And another collector rare, Pankratops, I forgot to bring this up, revolving back into the banlist conversation. Could this peel off to sell Ancient Guardians? Absolutely freaking not. When it comes to selling a set, one collector rare just doesn't break the set out. This is doing nothing for it. In fact, it's even cheaper than when we last showed it, shipped to your front door. And the problem with collector rares are, there's only one Pankratops out of 4 cases about, because you have 15 different collector rares in a set, 1 out of every 3 boxes, that's 4 per case, so to pull all 15, you gotta open about 4 cases, and Pankratops on his own ain't gonna do it. Now, is it gonna peel off on the ban list? That's for Konami to know, but they really dislike when a bunch of decks play the same option over and over, but they handpick those on what's healthy, like Ash Blossom. Collector Rare Pankratops is freaking cool, though, and even as a one-of, the most hollowed out version for past formats that people are playing, like Eternal Format 2, where you could grab extra, not the craziest thing for people to have gone after, and I really do like how Skullmeister looks a lot too. So going for collector rares, like I said initially, does seem to be the better estimated value than the sealed, and hoping that the sealed goes up, you're doing pretty good at this rate. Thanks for watching today's video. Please subscribe if you haven't already. What are you doing if you haven't? Here time and time again. Why do you keep finding yourself at the end of this video if you haven't subscribed? Like the video if you enjoy the conversation, and let me know what you think about people's crazy banless spending, Megatins spending, all this freaking speculation happening. It's actually driving me a little insane, some understandable more than others though, and some pretty big brain.